Hi friends, today I'm going to talk you through 5 great sources of content that you can use to practice on when you're learning visual note taking. Because learning the skills is one thing, but feeling confident to put it to use when you really need it is quite another. Hi, I'm Hayley, Chief Doodler at Thoughts Drawn Out. I'm all about getting creativity working, so I can help you to make your mark. So when you learn visual note taking, there's learning the actual skills and techniques, that's part of it. But then there's building your confidence to put it to work in those moments when you really need the visual notes. And if you're not confident that you're going to be able to capture what you need using this technique, then chances are you'll revert back to whatever you did before. So today I want to take you through places where you can look for content that you can practice on so that when you really need it, your skills will be ready to go. So let's jump right on in with the first one, which is podcasts. Now, podcasts are primarily an audio format, although many of them can be found on YouTube as well in video format. But I would say when you're getting started, go audio only because there'll be less for your brain to process. There's less information sources. Now, podcasts come in many different styles. There are long form podcasts that can go for many hours. They're generally interview style. And then shorter form podcasts, they can be interviews as well, but they could be more monologue or Q&A. So find something that suits where you're at with your note taking. Now, there's a couple of different approaches here. You can listen and note take as you go, no pausing, catch what you can. You can listen for a block, then pause, take your notes, play again. Or you can listen to the whole thing, pen down, wait to the end, then visually summarize the key points. I would suggest mixing up all of these because this is a great way to test that memory trust part of the note-taking process. Now, my recommendation for you, my favorite podcast of all time is the Rich Roll podcast. It is long form interviews, but he's one of the best out there. So that's why I feel confident saying, seek out the Rich Roll podcast. You'll find something interesting. TED Talks are the second source of content that I would recommend, mainly because they are time efficient. They are generally under 20 minutes, so you know you're not going to burn half a day trying to transcribe a podcast, so you can sneak in some practice when you have a window. What's also great is that this content is well planned, it's clearly structured, it's going to have good audio and visual cues. So it's a great place to practice fitting your content to your page. So you can have a mental plan going in. You can go, if I capture one key point per 2 minutes, and this is a 12-minute video, I'm going to have 6 text and icon groupings on my page so I can go in with a mental plan of what that layout might look like. Obviously, you have to stay flexible. Don't be locked into that plan or pre-draw boxes, but it's a great place to have a plan, test it out, test out your ability to be flexible in how you approach your content. Remember, never lock your page into a pattern that you can't change as you're going, but it's also great to have a plan going in. It's a really good technique that helps you feel confident in your visual note taking. So I would say this is your place to build, test, learn that planning and flex skill, because you can do TED Talks rapidly. As I say, 20 minutes and you can have a TED Talk completely live scribed. Now, there are so many great ones out there, but my recommendation for TED Talks, I'm going to go with one of the best. Again, you should hit up Brené Brown, The Power of Vulnerability, one of the most watched TED Talks of all time. Now, number 3, webinars. There are heaps out there, plenty of free ones even. And what's great about webinars is that generally speaking, this format is geared towards learning. So it's very much about taking knowledge, information, and applying it to something, which means it's a great place to practice humanized icons. By that I mean getting characters on your page and showing what are they feeling and what actions are they doing. It means stretching beyond just drawing nouns and thinking through the so what. How does this content apply? There's heaps to be found out there. Eventbrite is a great source of free webinars, or hit up your favorite YouTube channels and see if they do lives, because they are often in more of a webinar style. Now, the fourth one, slightly less conventional, is just everyday conversations. These are a really good thing to practice because unlike a well-rehearsed and structured TED Talk, conversations are less structured and can go anywhere and everywhere, and often do, and sometimes at the same time. So practicing conversations is a really good way to build your confidence in real-time capture, in getting verbatim quotes down on your page, and capturing the essence of people and characters. Because generally in less structured conversation, people and characters are going to be at the center of those topics more often than not. So this doesn't have to be complex. I would suggest, like, my recommendation on this one is pick conversations that they're casual and they're safe. There's no risk involved. So literally when you have a group of friends or family over and they're having a conversation maybe around the dining table, capture that. Now, my last one is to visual note take a book or books that you have just read. Now, what is great with books is that they are really long form. So you need to get past any inclination you might have towards transcription, because that's just never going to happen. So they're a great place to practice your synthesis skills. You have to let large amounts of content process, then you have to distill it down into its key points. And you can be reading these books with your eyes or with your ears. Remember, you can listen to them on Audible. Now, having a book with a really thoughtful structure is a good place to start. I would recommend trying someone like Ryan Holiday. You'll get a lot out of his books, but they also are very well planned and thought through in terms of their structure. So they lend themselves really nicely to visual note taking. So there we have it, folks. My 5 great sources of content to practice on when you're learning visual note taking. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Give me a comment below to tell me what you liked about it. I always love to hear. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Now you know what time it is. It's time to get out there and make your mark.